Hi, Elisa, half Asian tarot queen, doing the mystical shaman, which is, you know, it's kind of a combination of metaphysical and like super earthly. I like how it's like super grounded, but then super metaphysical at the same time. But then we have a bunch of, the other decks are all pretty metaphysical. So we're going through a big shifty time right now. So, there's a lot going on. There's a lot in flux. And it's really been interesting to just witness how consciousness is evolving from this whole global quarantine that's going on. It's really fascinating. Okay, so I'm just going to pull a couple cards from here. And then I want to, oh my gosh, this is so interesting because I feel like I've gotten this exact same combination before. So I'm going to have to link that reading. Oh, cool. Okay. I also want to remind you that it's the month of March. We're doing this special giveaway, free reading. So every week I'm drawing from the hat one subscriber who's going to get a free reading. So we've pulled 2 so far, and there's going to be 2 more. And it's, you know, I'm not the most watched channel on YouTube, so the chances are pretty high. And a lot of the subscribers have privacy settings such that I'm not even allowed to be aware of them being a subscriber. So the chances are really good. So you should enter. All you have to do is subscribe, and there's a video on the main page of the channel explaining all of this. Okay, so cards. We've got the owl. We got the Andean cross. And we got completion. So this is really interesting because I got this exact same combination. I feel like it was even in the same order in a reading a few weeks ago. And I'm going to have to go back and look at that reading because it's obviously going to be relevant. But we have the owl, which is kind of like, you know, pay attention to the signs and synchronicities that are happening around you because these are messages from your ancestors and they're giving you guidance on, you know, how to walk through this portal, you know. So the Andean cross is sort of like there's a doorway here, you know, that you can walk through, and it's like the doorway to a new life, you know. So it's almost like there was a foreshadowing event that this was happening a few weeks ago when we got these same 2 cards. But then, interestingly, the card that comes along this time, because I felt compelled to pull an extra card, is completion. So there's like a cycle that's being completed. So we're like actually walking through this doorway and we're coming out the other side, you know. It's like the change, you know, where change is happening. We've completed one era of life and we're stepping into a new one. And I feel like that's completely relevant because everybody pretty much globally is going through some sort of major shakedown shift because of this global quarantine, you know. And it's just like this moment of like social distancing and like pulling away from society. Like, you know, there's so much change that's happening right now that like there isn't anybody who's not being affected by it, you know. I mean, there's like all these huge direct impacts, you know, all the restaurants that are being impacted, and, you know, but all the schools and the universities, I mean, that are going online, like it's going to completely change the university system forever, you know. I mean, everything is changing. And so, yeah, it was almost like there was like a foreshadowing, but now it's like, it's happening. So I am going now to the Star Child Tarot. I love this deck. It's like very metaphysical, but You know, I feel like this is a pretty metaphysical moment. We all kind of need to like draw guidance from our highest selves because this is a big change. And we want to usher in the most positive outcome that we can. Oh my gosh, interesting. Okay. And then I'm going to pull one more. Okay. Oh, cool. Okay. So at the bottom of this deck, we have the Knight of Swords. So this, I feel like, came in like 2 days ago. There was a reading, and I think it was, I'll link it here, but I think it was the one about parting the Red Seas. But it's like a message of truth or clarity that's coming in fast, you know, like, it's kind of like you're going to get blindsided, you know, and I feel like we've all kind of been blindsided by this coronavirus thing, because it just, I mean, it didn't come out of nowhere, but the change did, you know, where it's just like, okay, tomorrow everything shuts down, you know, and everyone's just like, whoa, you know. So anyways, this message is coming in, and it's going to change everything, and it is changing everything. So, then we have the Five of Cups, the King of Cups, and we have the Sun. And this is really interesting because I feel like this is going along with a lot of the readings that we've been doing this week. So this is a card of loss, you know. There's 2 cups spilled, but there's 3 cups remaining. And so this is like a really, it's a warning, you know, like there's a lot we've lost. Wait, no, wait, this one's different. Wait, how many cups are spilled? It's interesting because this one only has 1 cup spilled and 4 cups. Usually there's 3 cups spilled and 4, you know, 2 cups remaining. So there's still like this love opportunity remaining, you know, but this has only 1 cup spilled, which, so it's like a more optimistic view of the 5 of Cups. But, you know, there has been a loss, but like, this is a reminder, but that there's still this huge opportunity that remains. So don't focus all your attention on this, because this is a greater opportunity, you know. And there was a video that we just did a couple days ago called Opportunity versus Fear, and that was the whole message. It was just like, look, you know, this is a really hard time, and not to diminish that, but like, if you want to get the best possible outcome, you got to focus on what still remains in the positive and moving forward, because that's your way out, you know. And so then we have the King of Cups. And so this is really powerful because it's like the King of Cups is coming from this balanced space and like is sort of like in command of, you know, his heart chakra, you know, and so all of that emotion is being channeled in a really positive way, you know. And he's got, it's interesting because this King of Cups has the 2 of Cups in his hand, so there's like this love there, you know, this great love, and you know, he's leading with his heart chakra, like that's the one that's like glowing. So it's just like, don't lose hope, you know, and don't lose heart, you know, like, because that's what's gonna push you through all these hard times. Like in yesterday's reading, I was talking about, you know, digging out from under the rubble, and it's just like, by working together and like building community and like coming together with people that we're gonna like rise above the circumstance, you know. So it's just like, don't get jaded and don't get cynical, because we gotta join together, you know, in this difficult moment. And then we have the Sun, which is a card of happiness, abundance, fertility, joy. It's the best card in the deck, you know. So this really like resonates with the readings, most of the readings from this week, which are just all about seeing the opportunity, you know, focusing your intention in a positive way to manifest, you know, the best possible outcome. So I'm gonna pull some more cards for the general energies, and so I'm gonna use this other pretty metaphysical deck. But this one's kind of also a balance of earthly and metaphysical, but it's the Ethereal Visions deck. And I'm going to pull from this deck to get some general energies for the reading. So, yeah, it's really, you know, there's this, you know, a famous quote, and I think it was Gandhi who said it. But it's just, you know, be part of the change that you want to be, you know, I mean, because there's a lot of emotion out there to tap into, you know, and there's a lot of change that's happening, you know, and it's like you want to connect with the positive change right now, because it's really powerful, you know, like there's a lot of emotion and power in that right now. So it's important to be intentional, and you know, this could be a good thing, you know. I mean, or at least don't give up on that possibility, you know, despite how it looks in the moment, because everything's in flux. That's weird. This one fell out upside down. Okay. All right. So at the bottom of this deck, we have the Page of Swords. So yeah, again, this is like a message of truth coming in. This can also indicate like a stalker energy sometimes. But we're gonna look and see what else is here. So we got the Ten of Wands, the Queen of Cups, and the Fool. Okay, so this is interesting because this Ten of Wands is like, it's like there's this big burden and you've like reached the end, like you can't carry it anymore, you got to put it down, and it's like that comes right under this Five of Cups. So like, you know, we can't focus on the negative because there's just like too much, it's just too overwhelming, there's too much going on, you know. We're not going to get through it by like dragging a bunch of bags around. Like we have to put that down, like there's just no other way to walk through this moment, you know. But then we got the Queen of Cups, and it's interesting because she fell right under this King of Cups, and this is like a divine partnership. So it's like, despite everything that's going down, like there's this beautiful divine partnership that's coming online, which is pretty cool, you know. It's just like you know, you got to find community around you, and like it's like love and family and those kinds of connections that are going to carry you through. And then we have this happiness, abundance, fertility, joy, and we have the Fool. So like taking a leap of faith, you know, into this positive possibility. And then we have, on the next row, we've got the Six of Wands, the Chariot, which fell out upside down, and we have Strength. So this is like a card of victory. So like, despite all these burdens that are happening, we have victory. So we're like rising above this circumstance, which is, you know, that's very inspiring message. And then we have the Chariot upside down. So the Chariot is a card of like sort of taking control of the situation. So upside down, it's sort of like, you know, we don't have control. Like this is a crazy time and a crazy circumstance, and we can't control it, you know. And so it's just sort of like, but we have love. That fell out right under this. The King and the Queen of Cups. And, you know, we're just going to have to ride the wave. And then, undertaking this leap of faith towards this beautiful happiness, abundance, fertility, we have Strength. So it's just like, it's not going to be easy to get to this, you know, but but we're going to get there. One stage of life is ending and another one is beginning. And it's not going to be easy, like, by any means, but we're going to get there. So I'm going to pull 3 cards of guidance from Star Child. And we'll see where that goes. Interesting. Okay. This is really interesting. Okay, so we got the Page of Wands. So this is like brand new, you know, it's a new spark. You know, it's interesting because we had the Page of Swords over here. So this is a new spark, and it's passionate, you know. So this is like truth, and this is passion. And then we got the Page of Crystals. Kind of like the Page of Pentacles. So it's like we're going forward in truth, and we're going forward with passion. And we're going to have to start from kind of from ground zero. But, you know, we're starting, and we're building the 3 of Crystals. We're building a new foundation. So it's just like whatever came before, like it's gone. Like we've walked through the portal, and it's like we're starting over from scratch, you know, like this new beginning. And we're just starting, you know. And so, but, you know, there's like so much possibility because it's like we're starting with like a clean slate, you know. And we're going towards this. So right then, that's when the like lightning and the thunder in the background. Woo! So don't give up hope. Like it's daunting, but there's a lot of possibilities that didn't exist before, you know. So that's beautiful. Okay, so I'm gonna pull a final card from the Starseed Oracle, which is the same artist that did the Star Child, this deck, which I love the art in this deck. And it seems like a good place to end, because this has been a pretty metaphysical little reading. But that's kind of what we need. We need to like be inspired, you know, because there's a lot of tough stuff that we're gonna have to walk through, and that's just the times we're in, you know. Okay. All right, we got 2. This is interesting. So we got Portal. Doors are opening, you decide, rewards, wild card, which is interesting because that's really similar to this Andean cross. Like we're walking through this doorway. So yeah, like it's a wild card. Like it can go either way. So it's really important how you harness your intentions and your energy right now, because you want to connect, you know, with the right opportunities. And then we have Starkeeper. Cosmic Ancestors, seed the light by staying grounded. This is really interesting because that's kind of like the owl. You know, these are like the medical, physical analogs of these grounded cards, you know, with the owl. But this is like connect with the wisdom of your ancestors. And that's going to guide you, you know, that's going to guide you through this portal. So it's interesting because it's like basically the same message that we got here. Pretty beautiful. Okay, well, I'll leave you with that, and we'll check in soon.